that will be stopped. The money directly will be directly going to the, in the hands of the people who are assigned for that. So such beautiful people are here who are, who have already changed the world and who have made a lot of impact on the agriculture domain. So I request, I mean, I welcome them all from Mangalayatan University. And to start with, let us start with, okay, let us start with Dr. Sadamate sir. He is already, I told you, he's one of the greatest agriculture scientists of India. He was in Planning Commission, what we call now the Niti Ayog. He is extension expert and his PhD also was in extension only. And I think it is better to hear from Dr. Vishwanath Sadamate, and the mic is yours, sir. Please go ahead. We will be taking question and answer at the end of the session. Sir, आपका mic on कीजिए. सदामते सर, आपका mic on कीजिए. सर, आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. You have to switch on your mic. वो नीचे में जो ये नीचे में आप ये लेके जाइए, आपका ये आ
हाँ,
जाएगा.
आप देखिए,
हाँ,
आप
now
देखिए
it
सर.
is, yeah. Now you are
Audible,
audible,
ना?
sir. Please go ahead. The mic is yours.
Okay. So at the outset, namaskar to everybody. Good afternoon to everybody. Dr. Ashish, Dr. Roy, Shiv Pujanji, Amrendra ji, and Ranjana ji, and others, those who are connected to our webinar. Good afternoon to everybody. At the outset, let me thank Dr. Ranjana for giving me this opportunity and speak about how the employment opportunities are cropping up in agriculture sector. As sir you had mentioned, I was a student of Pusa Institute for my master's and PhD program. BS Agriculture I did from Pune. Then had a postdoc from Michigan State University. Came back, worked with ICAR, worked with Minister of Agriculture as the director,
Great.
additional commissioner, etc. And then joined Planning Commission as advisor agriculture, and I was there for almost 7 years. Subsequently, I had a couple of international assignments also. Having this background, I thought when Ranjana ji got in touch with me, I was very glad to be a part of this meeting and submit how agriculture sector is performing and how it is opening up for future generation. Broadly said, I must mention right in the beginning that agriculture means not only crops. I think let us understand the broader perspective of agriculture. Agriculture की जब हम बात करते हैं, so it is agriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry, dairy, fishery, poultry, sericulture, maybe household farming like mushroom, etc., etc. So agriculture in a broader sense, will cover all land and water-based activities. As I mentioned earlier, again, crops, horticulture, animal husbandry, dairy, fishery, poultry, sericulture, household farming like mushroom, etc. So this combination is called as agriculture in a broader sense. If you see the performance of agriculture, has done fairly well in our country. The food production is almost to 90 million tons now. The pulse production is 25, 26 million tons. Oil seed again 30 million tons. Fruits 100 million tons. Vegetables 166 million tons. Milk, we are number one in the world, almost 176 million tons. Eggs again huge quantity. Private sector is playing a very important role. Milk, meat I mentioned is about 10 million tons or 12 million tons. Fisheries another 12 to 13 million tons. almost 60-70% of it comes from inland sources, and remainder is from marine sources. Now, if you see in terms of the population, then agriculture has very successfully met the challenge of feeding this huge population base. I mean, that itself is a very good achievement. But nevertheless, we have to look beyond production now. We have to see how the income generation activities could be promoted in agriculture. What are the opportunities for youth in agriculture? What are the opportunities for private sector in agriculture? How the entrepreneurs can make best use of
समझ गए? विश्वनाथ सर, आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. Not audible. Sir, Vishwanath Sadamate sir, you are not audible. अरे क्या हो रहा है आज? This is the first time such kind of disturbance is occurring. So, can we take another listener then, speaker? Sir, as Dr. Sadamate got disconnected, sir, may I request Dr. Roy sir to come forward and go ahead with his speech, sir? Dr. Roy, Rup Kumar Roy sir. शिवपूजन सिंह को बुलाएं. शिवपूजन सिंह सर. Okay, Dr. Sadamurthy is rejoining again. No worries, no worries. You drag down up, madam, please. Ma'am, visible now. Just wait. He's getting connected. He's calling and he's getting connected. Just wait. आगे. Sir, Vishwanath Sadamate sir, please switch on the microphone. और आपका नीचे कर लीजिए सर वो.
हाँ, आप देख लीजिए.
अभी हाँ ठीक है,
अब ठीक है? अब is it okay? थोड़ा बीच में आ जाइए. हाँ.
प्लीज गो अहेड.
Okay. Then I think let me come straight to the points now.
Please sir.
We have opportunities. Our students will have an opportunity of having lower agriculture education and higher agriculture education. Lower, I mean, 10 plus 2 में agriculture education में we have diploma and graduation, and there are number of 60 plus agriculture universities are offering, public private universities are offering graduation programs. Now for the diploma holders, and there are number of private colleges in Uttar Pradesh, in Maharashtra, and many other states now, where diploma holders can try for lower level agriculture support positions, like demonstrators, like village extension workers, like agri entrepreneurs, like nursery fellow, like plant protection operator, like the support hands working for input support companies, so on and so forth. But if you are graduate in agriculture, then it opens up huge opportunities and challenges. If you are graduate, then you can try for agri entrepreneurship, and there are a number of schemes state governments are also promoting, and government of India is also promoting. There is a scheme, very popular scheme called as Agri Clinic and Agri Business scheme, where you are given 2 to 3 months hands-on training after graduation, and then you can start your own enterprise as a agripreneur. And it can be again small horticulture business or small agriculture business or small plant protection business. I mean, that kind of thing is available. When it comes to again private sector, you can be part of input support services or plant protection services, or you can be let us say a dealer or a distributor. I mean, those kind of opportunities are available for the graduates. If you are a graduate and let us say technically very competent, and you want to pursue your graduation, then you can go for a master's training program. Higher studies, you can pursue your higher studies. You can try for master's training, master's program or a PhD program. If you are a graduate, then you can think of either starting your own enterprise, or you can if you are interested for public sector kind of opportunity, then you can try for state public service commission or union public service commission. And I have personally observed for last decade or so, agriculture graduates are doing fairly well in services like Indian Forest Service, Indian Administrative Service, and there is an independent stream called as Agriculture Research Service, where there is all India competition, and then if you get it, you become a junior scientist, then you can become a principal scientist, and then you can become a director of large number of institute chain of Indian Council of Agriculture Research. If you have masters and PhD, then you can try for the teaching or a research kind of jobs and responsibilities in private sector or in universities or in training centers. There are a large number of training institutes are also coming up in states. Typically, what we call it as state agriculture management and training institutes. There are the village level extension training centers. There are subject matter training institutes. There are what you call it as Krishi Vignan Kendras throughout the country. Every district has one. And when I talk about Krishi Vignan Kendra का जो team होता है, there's a program coordinator who is again a scientist type, and there are subject matter specialists who are preferably master level education in agriculture. As I mentioned, I mean, it's not only agriculture and crop production side, but you can have wonderful opportunities in horticulture, animal husbandry, But if you want to, get into animal husbandry and dairy, then there are, two streams. Either you are, veterinary doctor or animal husbandry, professional who looks after, breeding of animals, feed and fodder programs, animal husbandry programs, like that. Then, poultry is another, very good field where large number of private sector enterprises are doing very well. Then horticulture is opening up in a big way because horticulture mein aajkal, there is a focus not only on the production but number of processing and value addition opportunities are coming up in horticulture sector. Like that, if I talk about agriculture marketing, I mean that is one section which is coming up in a big way, where the private and the organized sectors, the public sector marketing opportunities are coming up, for agriculture graduates. Now coming back to my own field, agriculture extension, you know it very well that agriculture extension is dissemination of technologies coming up from the universities and research centers to the farmers and farmer organization. And here there are number of streams where you can try your luck either as entrepreneur, self-employed person, or you can try it as salaried person also. There are every state has state department of agriculture, but the entries at the lower level, you get into department of agriculture as a VLW or through competitive examination as a subject matter specialist, and then move up as a assistant director or a deputy director or a joint director. And if you are lucky enough, if your performance is very good, then you can go up to additional director or even director. If you are again qualified as a bachelor or as master, then in the research organizations there are tremendous opportunities like demonstrator or supervisor, because there is the entry level, or teaching organization as an assistant professor, and then you move up as a subject matter specialist or assistant professor, and then associate principal scientist, so on and so forth. If you have a engineering background in agriculture engineering, then there are large number of mechanization hubs are coming up, and there the employment opportunities are coming up in a big way, because traditional agriculture, bullock driven agriculture is now disappearing gradually, and everything is getting mechanized slowly and slowly, tractors, power tillers, so on and so forth. And every small town or a big town is in the competition to promote their products. So agriculture technicians and agriculture engineering graduates will have a lot of demand in future. If you are agriculture biotechnology person, then again the large number of private sector labs are also coming up, besides Indian Council of Agriculture research laboratories and the state government laboratories, as I mentioned. You will have good number of opportunities in R&D sector also. If you want to become an entrepreneur, self-employed person, then as I mentioned, you can have your own consultancy organization, you can have your own non-government organization, you can have a team of people around you and serve the farmers and farmers organization. I must mention here that large number of the farmer organizations are also coming up in the country. For example, if I talk about Maharashtra, there is Banana Growers Association, there is Pomegranate Growers Association, there is Sugarcane Growers Association, and these commodity groups are employing large number of agriculture graduates and agriculture postgraduates also. Then as I mentioned, agriculture marketing, then agriculture warehousing and godown sector is also coming up. Very recently, you must have heard about the Prime Minister's announcement that there is agriculture infrastructure development fund has been announced, and which will focus primarily on agri-logistics, the warehousing, godowns, marketings, and stuff like that, where our agriculture graduates will have a lot of opportunity to try their luck. As I mentioned that there are large number of the farmer organizations are coming up, non-government organizations are coming up. One more thing is that which we can target, that if you're an agricultural extension person, then you can try your luck in agri media departments. Agri media, both in public sector and private sector, they are coming up in a big way now. And with your agriculture diploma or agriculture degree background, you can be a reporter, agri reporter. You can be working with print media or electronic media, or now even good number of agriculture graduates are trying their luck in social media also. They are preparing their own electronic platforms, IT platforms, and trying to link agri businesses and farmers. You promote your own agri internet platform, give wide publicity, have your own website, and then get linked to the catchment of farmers on one side, and then link the farmers either to the markets or to the industries. That way you will make a good connect between the farmers and industry. When I talk about Ashish sir, can I take another 5 minutes or so?
No, 2 minutes. You can.
Okay, then. Okay. So nice. Because I was getting little longer and longer, but then I
Because,
thought yeah.
Dr.
Then let us have sir compromise. I will try to wind up within 5 minutes. Is it okay? 3 minutes extra from your side. See, when it comes to the processing and value addition side, there are number of opportunities are coming up. Besides private sector, the enterprise, Ministry of Food Processing Industry is also promoting entrepreneurs in food processing and value addition. And there are opportunities for the small scale operation. There are opportunities for medium scale operation. 3, 4 agriculture or horticulture graduates coming together and floating medium size enterprise. We have seen sir, that the small enterprises or medium sized enterprises in agriculture, horticulture, maybe commercial dairy, commercial fishery, provides direct employment to about dozen of people, those who are managing the enterprise. But indirect employment can be provided to at least 100, 200 people around the industry. That catchment will be very good. Besides that, sir, I must tell that there are a large number of universities and the institutes are offering now agri MBA programs. As I mentioned that number of the private sector enterprises are coming up, where agri MBA graduates can capture the opportunities as a CEO of the company, or president of the company, or vice president of the company, as you get the experience. If you have a good experience with agriculture background, then there are a large number of national level organizations where you can try for employment opportunities like NDDB, Dairy Development Board, Fishery Development Board, NABARD, the banks. And when it comes to banking and insurance, agriculture graduates are getting good opportunities as the surveyors and then the insurance managers, or the credit managers, or lower level and middle level functionaries with the banking stream also. Finally, there are good number of international opportunities are also coming up for the agriculture graduates from India. For example, in Southeast Asia, Africa, Latin America, or even in Europe and America, agriculture professionals are those who are trained in India are getting very good opportunities. So this is what I just wanted to very briefly mention. What are the avenues available in agriculture sector? with reference to education and with reference to employment. Employment, I mean here, self-employment, public sector employment, and private sector opportunities, nationally, internationally. I'm confident, sir. Agriculture sector is going to be a sunrise sector in the next decade or so. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sadamate sir. You already have answered the question I was going to ask. It was asked by Dr. Suresh Kumar that what are the international opportunities?
Okay.
So
Okay.
thank you very much. Now he has already covered 99% of this webinar. He has covered own business, local and international jobs. Even he talked about starting website and getting connected with the all the farmers and getting the work done for them to avoid catastrophes as well. So comprehensively he has covered everything that now next people, I don't know if there is something ahead of this, then they are going to talk something about that. So
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Then, sir, just sir, one small submission.
please.
Around, sir, 3:10 or so, I will leave this webinar and I have to join, one more webinar, which is, where I have to, put my input on, some other issues.
Okay.
Maybe, sir, what we can do, I'm in touch with Ranjana ji.
Yeah.
Let the situation improve, and then, I will visit your university, and then, we can have a little
Yes,
wider, interaction on this topic. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All the people joining here, including you, हम लोग उन सबको अपने फैमिली समझते हैं.
So nice of you, so nice of you, sir.
So हम लोग ये तो बिल्कुल take it granted है कि when the corona is over, हम आपको उठा के लेके आएंगे यहाँ पे.
Thank you, so nice of you, sir.
और then आपका extension counter यहाँ पे एक extension counter हो जाएगा.
Oh, so nice of you, sir.
We, frankly speaking,
Sir.
there are suppose 1,000 universities in India. Suppose, I know the exact number, but I'm saying suppose. If they all have agriculture department and all the students, first year to final student, be it from BTech to PhD student, if they go to home, I mean go from home to home and train the farmers.
Yes.
For various aspects, there will be no suicides in India.
I agree with you, sir. We will be leader in the world, sir. If agriculture, blooms in a potential, which is full potential.
Yes.
I mean, and again, agriculture means total agri, horti, animal, fish, etc.
Everything, yeah.
If it blooms in its totality, yeah.
पूरा जो वहाँ पे जाके farming कर रहा है वो farmer.
And even sir, मैं ये कहूँगा कि agriculture का growth is directly linked to the exports.
बिल्कुल.
And India, people are looking, for India now to, for agriculture and allied sector.
Yeah.
So if there are, any, one or two questions, I can quickly respond. Otherwise, I
Sir,
will.
let us continue with
Okay.
others. And,
Okay. Fine.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, but now as
We'll
per
continue with the
the
program.
Next person
We'll
is there.
Right.
So you already
Okay.
answered, sir, 3 questions. अभी यहाँ के सारे सवाल खत्म हो गए.
No, I have taken a little longer than prescribed time, but that was required.
It happens, sir, because
Okay.
there was already delay because of the system got hacked for 15 minutes.
Okay. Now
Okay,
maybe,
sir.
sir, I'll listen to the next speaker. Yeah.
Please, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for being our resource person. It was a wonderful session by you. You have highlighted especially the upcoming areas like agriculture, journalism, how the
Yeah,
extension can help and really prosper the agriculture, especially in our field in conventional way, as well as using the technology and changing the scenario of present agriculture. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, sir.
Thank you,
now
Ranjana ji.
I'll
Thank you, Ranjana ji.
Ashish sir to please continue.
Yeah, hold on. Ready. Okay, so now the next speaker is Dr. R.K. Roy, and he's one of the greatest agriculture scientists of India, head of floriculture and landscaping garden in the division of NBRI. He holds the PhD in floriculture and landscaping, and already I said that he has developed the president's garden. I mean, when Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was here, he has developed his garden. Then he is also a flower breeder and Agni Shikha of Cana, Dr. J.C. Bose variety of Gladiolus, and famous for Bougainvillea breeding as well. So I believe that the best person to tell about himself and speaking about the next of the thing is him only. So Dr. Roy, the floor is yours. Please go ahead, sir. Dr. R.K. Roy, sir. Acha, he's not there. I mean, okay. So Dr. R.K. Roy has gone for some important work for 5-10 minutes, I believe. So let us call the next person. Dr. Shiv Pujan Singh, are you there, sir? Dr. Shiv Pujan Singh? Hmm? डॉक्टर अमरिंदर सिंह साहब आप हैं यहाँ पे?
Yeah, hi. I'm Amrendra. I'm here.
So, sir, please come forward. आपका वीडियो कैमरा ऑन कीजिए, sir.
Yeah.
So, because some important work has come on, so Dr. R.K. Roy and Shiv Pujan Singh has, yeah. So, sir, within 10 to 12 minutes, Amrendra Kumar, sir, can you cover the blockchain and upcoming technology?
Yeah, sure.
So let me
Sure,
introduce
sure.
myself, sir. Just wait. Sir, so all of you just know that Amrendra Singh is a director of his own business, and he's famous for using blockchain technology in agriculture. And so he is the only person at present who is doing it in India. And frankly telling, I'm also a computer engineer. I already told you that. So we have a person who can make the agricultural domain foolproof across the world. And I told you how it can be done. That blockchain is a technology which prevents the duplication of work and going the work into the not in the hands of a person who is not assigned to it. यानी जिसका जो पैसा है, जिसका जो काम है, जिसके जो कागजात है, जिसका जो अथॉरिटी है, वो उसी के पास रहती है. ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी में ऐसा गड़बड़ हो ही नहीं सकती. Now, how he is going to implement it and what are the job opportunities in latest technologies, Dr. Amrendra Kumar is going to speak. Please, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ashish, for the nice introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for inviting me to this webinar. My greetings go to the distinguished panel today, including Dr. Ashish, Dr. Sadamate, Dr. Roy and Dr. Singh, and especially to Dr. Ranjana for reaching out to me. I take this opportunity to salute Mangalayatan University's interest and initiative to discuss the future of jobs in agriculture and allied sciences, which fits its focus on rural and urban youth development, something I'm always passionate about. Emerging technologies have somehow been missing the economic and social development needs of rural areas, and it is certainly something we should look at more closely and find a way to build technologies that cater to this space. So blockchain technology is one of the most innovative technological advancements of our era. Most of you must have heard about the Bitcoin revolution that took the world by storm some time ago. This is just one of the manifestations of this technology. It is all about, like Dr. Ashish said, about decentralization, immutable data. So data once fed in cannot be changed. Checks, balances, ownership, and responsibility of owning, recording, or approving data. So as you know, in India, we produce plenty. We have a huge demand. Still, there is huge dissatisfaction on both sides. One side is not getting the value, and the other side is not getting the price. Besides this, you know that we are faced with ineffective subsidy management, lack of insurance and loans, small land holdings of farmers, lack of mechanization, and lack of proper information to farmers. As you know that in the era of social media today, there is a deluge of information, but which information is correct and which information is not, it is very difficult to judge for a common man, and that too to a farmer. So blockchain here is certainly a solution. I know most of you would know that the amount of input subsidy dispersed by the government of India in marketing year 2017-18 stood at a whopping $22.5 billion. Of course, this figure is much less than the figures which are in the West, but in itself, this is a huge figure. So if a fraction of this is enough to manage the whole ecosystem through blockchain. So the beauty of blockchain is in its capability to manage the enormity and complexity. So the more vast it is, the more viable it becomes. And as you may be also aware that India's agriculture subsidy is dispersed as different at different levels, as for example, fertilizer subsidy, power subsidy, agriculture equipment subsidy, irrigation subsidy, seed subsidy, export subsidy, and so on, you know, credit subsidy and agriculture infrastructure subsidy. I think this alone is a separate topic for discussion, but makes a perfect use case for blockchain adoption. The idea is to be able to use the latest distributed ledger technologies. I will try to explain how, in layman terms, the use of blockchain can be seen in agriculture. So the ecosystem could start from the state land department, verifying the land, which would be available on GPS. This will ensure that the transactions are being done with a legitimate landowner. This land will also be visible to a prospective contract farmer at a remote location, who, as a member of the same ecosystem, can now get in touch with the landowner in no time and without the need of any mediators. This land will now be linked to the supplier of harvest service provider. For example, precision agriculture vendor, who would also be part of the blockchain ecosystem, which is a combination of drip irrigation and satellite-based irrigation service provider like IriWatch, and maybe a supplier of plant nutrients. So during this period, there may be a need of financing and receiving available farm subsidies. Banks and other institutions who are now part of the ecosystem can offer these services to their bona fide clients, who in return, farmers, who they offer accountability on use of such resources on the blockchain platform. So their credit worthiness goes up. An agency which offers weather forecast and crop insurance system becomes the integral part of the ecosystem, bringing predictability and assurance. Then come the post-harvest companies involved in inspection, grading, packing of the produce, become the next entrance in the ecosystem, offering their on-time service. As part of the blockchain, they will be able to attend to their jobs with proper planning and without delay. Next in the value chain comes the logistic provider, who will be able to plan and offer a service for just-in-time delivery of goods to the retailer directly or to the HoReCa, means the hotel, restaurants, and cafe industry. In case of wastage, this is very important. You can appreciate this fact that a lot of our food goes waste, and on the other side, a lot of our people go without food. This can be addressed too by a blockchain. Charities can be on blockchain, and the moment they see some food is getting wasted or close to getting wasted, it can be directed to the people who need it the most. So blockchain can fix this anomaly. So in this whole scheme, the idea is to give value to the end consumer who gets a quality product from a legitimate source. So he no longer feels left out of the system. He knows what he's paying for, can verify the facts, and doesn't feel cheated, and is a satisfied customer. Now, farmer, who is the main constituent of value chain, gets the price of the produce he deserves, and he doesn't feel distressed by the system. So he should be able to not only double, but bring a quantum leap in his income. And believe me, when I say it may sound like a tall claim, but blockchain technology has shown that this is possible. So everyone's purpose will be well defined, and bad actors and defunct systems can be eliminated. I think some people are talking in the background. If they could mute their mic. So using blockchain, ladies and gentlemen, the consumer can now become part of the microfinance project. Now, just imagine, we have a problem of financing in the sector in India, and there are people on the other side who can put in that money for those farmers, but it is impossible to organize this. But with blockchain, we can adopt a microfinance project, which would not only finance back to the farmers, but also give consumers return on their investment. So, for example, if you're buying fruit, if you're buying mango, from say Uttar Pradesh, and you like the mango, you have the possibility of investing not a big amount, maybe just 100 rupees, 200 rupees as a microfinance, and it goes back to the farmer. This is a unique way of giving back to the farmers. And I'm sure most of us would be willing to do if there is a transparent way to do it. So this, since this opportunity is decentralized, it opens doors not only for people in India, but for a micro investor, for example, sitting in Argentina, can invest in a small farm in a remote district in India. Well, provided the government regulations allow for such investments to come. That is another matter which the blockchain specialists have to work on. So it might sound like a pyramid scam, but it isn't. It is in fact more secured than the government bonds of some countries, believe me. It might be the birth of what I call as Indian agriculture token, kind of a Bitcoin for Indian agriculture.
Yeah.
So it looks like that blockchain in agriculture has huge opportunities. But as it may sound great, it is indeed a question that who will service this opportunity? Who will be the torch bearers for the blockchain technology in agriculture in India? As you're all aware, that India has a huge base of computer and software specialists who work as back office for world's biggest companies. Besides that, a lot of multinational companies are adopting blockchain technologies. Some of them are based in India, like Walmart, Nestle, IKEA, Maersk, Coca-Cola, etc. So they are implementing blockchain at a world level and would at some point include India too, in a phased manner, if they have not begun already. In India also, companies like Mahindra, Agri, and another new startup called Agri 10X from Pune, and also Coffee Board India adopted a pilot project on blockchain in 2019, So there are enough opportunities for blockchain specialists in India. So they would require agriculture professionals with knowledge of blockchain. So as per reports, government services, finance, and retail are the three sectors which are going to see most of blockchain-based applications. So if an agriculture graduate equipped with a blockchain certification, uh, it is indeed a good piece of ammunition in his arsenal. As you are aware that crop insurance is one of the burning topics in India, which can be very well mitigated by blockchain. The loopholes in providing subsidies to farmers can be plugged with blockchain.
True.
The high rate of securing finance, the red tape, and filling up several loan forms by the farmer can be eliminated. Banks also, on their side, face issues such as fake land records, subprime issues, where one property has been pledged several times. All these issues make the job of the loan officer very difficult and results in a higher rate of interest if at all the loan is approved. But all these issues can be mitigated with blockchain. But we need professionals to do the job. Basically, what would these professionals do? These are 5 broad areas which they would address, starting from object identification, data capture, data storage, data processing, and data presentation. These are the 5 broad areas they have to be specialists in. So we have to create professionals in blockchain with domain knowledge of agriculture. So how do we do it? So let me, on this platform, I'm happy to announce and inform that my company, Orohill, together with a California-based company, Mentor Global Consultants, is going to launch blockchain technology courses in India. I'm glad to offer you these courses on blockchain
Sir,
through
please
Mangalayatan
share the
University.
details. Yeah, please share the details.
Yeah, I will do that, which will give you a certification in blockchain technology and will help you be different from the crowd. I'm sure with time, entrepreneurs, agri companies, government, law enforcing agencies, everyone will need professionals because government has to formulate laws. They're afraid to formulate the law because they are not aware of the technology in depth. We will need to address this issue through education. So let's get a response from the student community, and we are ready to roll out a program tailor-made to the needs of the students. We will define a module and run the lessons online, either from California or we will sort that issue. And in the end, certify the students after taking a test from their learnings. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next decade is that of blockchain. And as per reports, I once again repeat, the 3 biggest applications are going to be in the field of finance, government and public service dispensation, and retail. So the need of the hour for the youth is to understand and imbibe this technology and make it KIDMA-proof technology. What is KIDMA-proof? KIDMA-proof is that this technology can be understood by both the kids and our grandparents. Then this technology is KIDMA-proof. So thank you very much. And last but not the least, I once again thank you for this opportunity to speak at this forum. And I encourage students to come ahead and get to know this technology better and become part of this new blockchain revolution. Thank you.
Sir, Arman Singh,
Yeah.
there is one question. Farmland shrinking day by day due to industry and other reasons. Arindam Das has asked this. Could it be too dangerous for farming and farmers? And how can blockchain technology be used to for mitigate and eliminate these kind of issues?
Yeah, it's a very good question. A very pertinent question today. As you may be aware, we all speak about agriculture being so important to the economy. The land mass is shrinking, water resources are limited. But at the same time, you may verify that agriculture is the largest user of water resources. And through blockchain, by using satellite imaging, and like there is a company from Holland called ERIWatch, which I mentioned in my
ERIWatch, I
presentation.
noted it. It is from
Yeah.
Netherlands. Okay.
So they are able to provide you irrigation advice on basis of where you are at, and it really helps in decreasing the amount of irrigation resources which you would use. So by adopting blockchain technology, we can have we can address this issue.
Okay. So thank you very much. Ek second. Amrinder Singh ji, and
Yeah.
he has covered so many things. Blockchain, pura all the 5 topics, object, strategy, to presentation, all the blockchain fundamentals. He has covered how the GPS can be used for the planning and developing the farmland. Then he has covered the how the Bitcoin could be blockchain can be the Bitcoin for the Indian agriculture. Miss Neha Mehrotra, please, Neha Mehrotra, please switch off. Yeah. Okay. Then how blockchain could be developed as a stigma-proof technology so that a small child or even the illiterate person can use the blockchain for the development and of the agriculture and can benefit to the farmers at the grassroots level. So Amrinder Kumar ji, thank you very much. And one more thing he added, that he's going to through Oro Hill and some the Californian Institute, they are going to develop the certification. Anybody who's interested, let us know, or Amrinder Kumar Singh know, or Ranjana madam, or ask anybody, please contact us and we'll try to develop it further and take it to the level next. So
yeah, we can be in touch with Dr. Ranjana and yourself, and go ahead with this. Let the students contact you.
Yes. Okay. So
thank you so much, sir, for being a resource person and giving us a new revolutionary area where the revolution can be the next possible chance for agriculture. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And to all the listeners and participants, I would like to inform that the success of our webinar is that now we have respected Dr. H.P. Singh sir as our listener. Welcome, sir. Welcome so much for supporting us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And you are welcome. So such senior people are here who themselves are greatest contributors to the agriculture. Sir, एक बार हाथ बता दीजिए. आंटी जी आप ही हाथ बताइए. We don't mind. You do your work. आपका हाथ बताइए. Yeah, that's sufficient. Yeah. So please, now can I go ahead, sir? Okay. Now Dr. Shiv Pujan Singh is here, and as I told you already, that he is the person who has ability to create the the traffic jam, because he is developing the 6-foot lauki and then a pumpkin of truck size, and then I build it in 1,000 hectares. Then on the day of produce, it is going to market. A traffic jam would be there. So let me introduce him. He is one of the greatest agriculture scientists of India. He is a dean of horticulture in NDUAT Ayodhya. In fact, it was Faizabad. A vegetable breeder, new vegetable varieties he develops. He is a Loki Putra for his 6 feet long bottle gourd, and he is very famous for this. Then to be on lighter side, I already told you how he can create the traffic jam, and how can he, in fact, he is developing so many, the jobs in the market, right from truck driver to the we require a traffic Hawaldar also is required in case traffic jam is there. He's developing already so many jobs, and it is great to have you over here. And please go ahead, sir. Please, we would like to listen to you, Dr. Shiv Pujan Singh, sir. Sir, please, the floor is yours. Sir, your voice is not on. आपका माइक्रोफोन ऑन कीजिए सर, शिवभूषण सिंह सर. आपका माइक ऑन नहीं है सर. सर शिवभूषण सिंह सर, आपका माइक ऑन नहीं है. कैन यू डू इट? Hold on, he's coming, sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Anyway, in the outset, I shall take this opportunity to thank you very much, the organizers, and particularly Ranjana, Dr. Ranjana, for making me a speaker to this prestigious conference webinar. And in fact, I would say that it will not create traffic jam. It will make way to the people. It will make way to the people. So in fact, to introduce myself, will it be better to switch over to Hindi, or I shall continue only in English, as you say?
No, sir, Hindi English combination रखिए. We don't mind, please, please.
Okay.
और हिंदी भी नहीं है सर, हम हिंदी जानता है सर. Please go ahead.
Anyway, so I shall introduce myself in a brief. That I started this Patil Guard research work in 1988, and at that time I visualized the days of Patil Guard, which will make say 2020 and so on. Particularly in those times, say about 30 years back, Patil Guard was not a popular crop, and because of say preferences, local preferences of the people, but the varieties, the quality of fruits, and particularly the health conscious people have come in to take up Patil Guard consumption in a big way, particularly in the cities. And I would say that in the beginning, that this Patil Guard was considered rather a summer season.
Sir, may I interrupt you? There are people who are saying they want to listen you in Hindi, क्योंकि उनको हिंदी में वो बॉटल गोड 6 फीट का वो उनको ग्रो करना है, आपसे समझना है.
चलिए, अच्छी बात है, मैं हिंदी में बताता हूँ. तो पहले लौकी का जो शुरू में लोग नाम सुनते थे कि कौन सी सब्जी बनी है, लोगों की भूख आधी हो जाती थी. लेकिन अब जो है पूछते हैं लौकी कौन सी सब्जी बनी है, तो लौकी का सब्जी सुन करके भूख बढ़ जाती है. एनीवे, हम अब टॉपिक पे एग्जैक्टली आएंगे. वैसे तो हमने मतलब 3 क्रॉप्स पे मेनली काम किया कुकर बिट्स के. लौकी है, काशी फल और पॉइंटेड गार्ड परवल. लौकी में मेरी कुल 10 वैरायटीज हैं. और नरेंद्र शिवानी जो 6 फीट की जिसकी बात कर रहे हैं, इसको हमने 6 फीट 4 इंच का प्रोड्यूस किया है. नरेंद्र देव एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी, जो कि एक प्रॉब्लम सॉइल थी और अभी भी है. और अभी मैं चाहता हूं कि जैसे आप कह रहे थे पंपकिन की ट्रक्स लोड, पंपकिन की एक फ्रूट से ट्रक लोड हो जाएगा. हाँ है, वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड जो है 2000 मेरे ख्याल से 17 का है. वो एक पंपकिन फ्रूट का वेट जो है वो 11 कुंटल 23 किलो का है. ये यूएस का रिकॉर्ड है. दिस इज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड. एंड पंपकिन प्रोड्यूसेस द लार्जेस्ट फ्रूट इन द वर्ल्ड इन एनी से प्लांट कंपेयर टू एनी प्लांट. मैं ये चाहता हूँ पाटिल गार्ड का क्रेडिट जो है इंडिया को जाए. हमने 6.5 फुट की लौकी पैदा की है और सुना है ये वैरायटी का नाम नरेंद्र शिवानी है. और हमने सुना है, या मेरा ही बीज सिरसा में कभी गया और सिरसा में बताया लोगों ने कि ये 8 फुट 2 इंच का प्रोड्यूस किया. लेकिन आई डोंट बिलीव दैट अनलेस आई सी इट. तो अभी जो है हमने मतलब इस वर्ष जो है बीज कंट्री में काफी मतलब लगभग 20-21 स्टेट्स में गया है और 125 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में गया है. और मैं चाहता हूं कि मैं जहां लखनऊ में रह रहा हूं ये रिकॉर्ड नहीं बन सकता, क्योंकि मेरा जो प्लाट है जहां मैं उगा सकता हूं लौकी, वहां दो तरफ छाए से घिरा हुआ है। सो आई हैव ओपन दिस कंपटीशन टू ऑल द कंट्रीमैन, और जिसमें कंट्रीमैन और कंट्री वुमेन, जिसमें कोई भी इसका पैदा करे, और उसका मेरे तरफ से मैंने खुद अवार्ड डिक्लेयर किया है 5,000 से लेकर के 15,000 तक, विच इज नॉट ए बिग अमाउंट, विच इज स्मॉल अमाउंट, लेकिन एक प्रोत्साहन के लिए हमने इसको प्रपोज किया है। और आई हैव फाउंड कि मेनी पीपल, मेनी फार्मर्स, मेनी स्टूडेंट्स, गर्ल एंड बॉयज, दे हैव कम अप टू टेक अप दिस क्रॉप एंड टू फुलफिल द फैसिनेशन, कि मतलब वो कितने ये मतलब लंबा ले जा सकते हैं इस फल को, जो हमने मतलब जैसे 8 फुट तक का अगर कोई पैदा कर देता है उसके लिए हमने 15,000 रुपए का अवार्ड घोषित किया है। वो अवार्ड बड़ी बात नहीं है। मैं ये चाहता हूं कि भारत का नाम दुनिया में सबसे लंबी लौकी पैदा करने वाले, क्योंकि पंपकिन का हम नहीं प्रोड्यूस कर सकते, वो हमारी क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस नहीं है ना, तो हमारे पास इसलिए लौकी के लिए वी आर द बेस्ट इन द वर्ल्ड। हमारे देश में लौकी की सबसे ज्यादा विभिन्नता पाई जाती है, और ये मतलब तरह तरह के फल हर सीजन के मतलब उगाई जाने वाली लौकियां हमने जो पैदा की 9 या 10 वैरायटीज लौकी की, इसमें 7 वैरायटीज तो गर्मी की है, गर्मी मीन्स फोटो पीरियड इंसेस्टिव, लेकिन 3 वैरायटीज जो है नरेंद्र शिशिर, नरेंद्र शिवानी और नरेंद्र माधुरी, ये 60 डे टाइप है, जिनकी बुआई का समय जो है ये जुलाई, मध्य जुलाई, द बेस्ट टाइम इज मिड ऑफ से जुलाई, उससे पहले बुआई कर लेते हैं तो अच्छी बात है। और इसकी फ्रूटिंग जो शुरू होती है लेट सितंबर से लेकर अर्ली अक्टूबर तक फ्रूटिंग शुरू होती है, और फिर ये अक्टूबर, नवंबर, दिसंबर, मिड दिसंबर तक अच्छी फ्रूटिंग होती है। फिर मिड दिसंबर के बाद जब ठंडक यूपी में कम ज्यादा पड़ने लगती है तो फ्रूटिंग कम हो जाती है। लेकिन जब सेंट्रल इंडिया में जाए, मध्य प्रदेश या महाराष्ट्र में जाए, आंध्र प्रदेश में जाए, ये जाड़े में भी फ्रूटिंग दे सकती है, क्योंकि ये सभी स्टेट्स में गई है, और उड़ीसा, बंगाल, बहुत सारे स्टेट्स में गई है, एक्सेप्ट फॉर से इन तमिलनाडु एंड केरल or say Pondicherry. It has gone almost many of the states of North Indian, Northern Indian or Central or Southern states of the country. तो मैं ये चाहता हूँ, और उड़ीसा में
शिवपूजन सिंह सर, there are two people, in fact there are 15 people from Tamil Nadu and one or two from Andhra Pradesh. Dr. Rao is also there. They are requesting you that whatever you are speaking about the 6 feet this one, you also please tell in English in 1 or 2 minutes, so that they also can take it to the Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and 2-3 places, Orissa, where, because they don't understand Hindi. That is what they are saying.
Okay. So to those people, in fact, I was saying that it has gone almost even say all northern states, major states, and it has also gone to the south, except last year it went to Tamil Nadu also. And of course, it has not gone to the Kerala, only the state. Otherwise, so it has gone, say, all other, other major states of the country. To those peoples, it has gone to Telangana. It has gone to this year. It has gone to Andhra Pradesh. Many farmers today, there was a request from Andhra Pradesh that he wants the seeds, but I told him that you are now too late. Try for next year. So those people from those people from Andhra Pradesh and say Tamil Nadu, I say they request for the seed. I will share my say WhatsApp number. They can, everyone can note that my WhatsApp number. Please note 945.
Yeah, just hold on. 945
00
00
21
21
755.
755. Can I share with all the listeners?
Everyone, to anyone.
Yeah, so it will
and
be,
my mobile number, please write my mobile also.
Yeah, 94500217555. Dr. Shiv Singh. I'm putting it into the
and that
chat.
is WhatsApp number. Write my mobile number also, 798.
Okay, 1 minute. Shiv Singh, 798
52
52
44
44
878.
878. May I repeat again? 78
Okay.
7985 244 878 7985244
Yes. Two.
Okay.
Hello.
Please go
Two
ahead, sir.
double four. Yes. Is it okay?
Yeah, 798
Okay.
5244878.
5244 878.
Perfect, sir.
Okay.
Share,
So
sir.
anyone, anytime they may contact to me, and the arrangement for the seed supply will be made next year now from June onwards, June to July, and the sowing time is July. So I was saying that if they want to participate in the competition, not in the competition, but for bringing India to the topmost country who produces the longest fruit in the world. The available record, as I said that I produced a fruit of 6 feet 4 inches long, but the literature says it is about 2 meters. But nothing is available in black and white. So anything, any farmer or any grower produces fruit, say about 7 feet, more than 7 feet long length, that will be a notable world record, and it
Yeah.
may be requested for registering in Limca Book of Record or say Guinness
Great, sir.
Book of Record.
Great,
So-
sir.
Okay, so I have announced the award for any person who produces a fruit of 8 feet length, that he will get, RC will get the prize of 15,000. But the prize is not important. It is the fruit length which is important. It is the country which is important, that I want to put India on the top of the world, that it produces the longest fruit in the world. Anyway, now I will come about the production technology and all those things. So still I continue in English or I switch over to Hindi.
सर सेम थिंग आपको शॉर्ट में हिंदी में बताना है और शॉर्ट में अंग्रेजी में बताना है एंड योर आपका जो है प्रेजेंटेशन देखिए हम लोगों ने लगा दिया है आपका इट इज विजिबल नाउ ऑन कंप्यूटर सर प्लीज गो
अच्छा।
अहेड सर
टाइम लिमिट बताइए आप।
आपको अभी कमिंग 10 मिनट में खत्म करना है
चलिए ठीक। नो प्रॉब्लम। अच्छा ये बात बता दें कि मतलब द टॉपिक इज जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी, क्रिएटिंग जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज इन कोविड पीरियड और कोरोना काल में जो जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज कैसे होगी। देखिए अभी
उसके काल में भी और बाद में भी
ये चलता रहेगा, क्योंकि कोरोना इज द फर्स्ट अराइवल, देयर मे बी मेनी कोविड्स in the coming years. I don't so we will have to prepare ourselves for the future also, for any emergency. So anyway, as far as job opportunities is concerned, you may be there are people from across the country in the conference. The fruit rate in Lucknow today, it is 30 rupees a kg, about 30 rupees a kg, and I think this is the rate. Perhaps all over the country may be varying from 20 to 40 rupees a kg nowadays. But I know a farmer, Deepak Patel, who is producing Naren Siwani fruits or other organically produced bottle guard fruits. He is selling the fruit 100 rupees a kg.
Oh my God.
The other fruits are selling at 20 to 25 rupees a kg in Pannagar, in Indore.
Yeah.
So, there are great opportunities if you are able to produce the quality, if you are able to produce the variability. So, of course, not only the fruits, but fruits also, they are not only vegetables. It can be also made into the Siwani fruits. Of course, the fruits can be used primarily for vegetable, but they can also be used for decoration in the drawing room. As you can see, I will show you in my drawing room, and we can prepare this sunk. Do you see this sunk? Bottle guard sunk?
Yeah.
Is it very clear? So,
yes.
and I will blow it, then I shall continue the other subjects. Okay? I just blow.
और मुझे लग रहा है And शंख जैसे ये कौन जैसे लग रहा है, शंख जैसे बज रहा है, ओम का आवाज, ओम का ध्वनि आ रहा है सर।
यही है, ये शिवानी का फ्रूट का है। इट इज प्रोड्यूस ऑफ शिवानी फ्रूट, मैच्योर फ्रूट्स। इट इज ड्राइड मैच्योर फ्रूट मेड इनटू बॉटल गार्ड कॉन्च, ओके, पेंटेड and prepare to blow like sunk conch, and it is a very good exercise for your lungs, heart, stomach and brain. So I am trying to promote this as a marketable piece, which will also a piece for job generation to the farmers or the progressive growers of bottle gourd, particularly Naren Shivani. This can be prepared only by a fruits by of Naren Shivani. Okay. So anyway, so the other decorative pieces I will show in my drawing room. You can see. Is it
सर
okay?
यहाँ सर आपके प्रेजेंटेशन में भी है, देखिए रंजना मैडम शो कर रही है। Great,
अच्छा
great,
अच्छा,
great. अभी
Okay.
करिए, बोले करिए, कीजिए बोल रहे मैं सर, वो
हाँ,
हम
हाँ।
लोग प्रेजेंटेशन में बता रहे हैं सर।
अच्छा ठीक है ठीक है। तो एनीवे, तो मतलब हमारा मतलब ये कल्टीवेशन टेक्निक जो है, ये हम आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट अदर बॉटल गार्ड वैरायटीज। आई विल कंसंट्रेट ओनली फॉर नरेश शिवानी बिकॉज time is limited for others people know. Naren Shivani, the sowing time is mid-July or early fortnight of July, and it is grown on trellis system. And if you want to grow, क्या clear नहीं है क्या? Hello. Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Yes. If you want to grow longer fruits, that machan or trellis should be not less than 8 feet 6 inches high.
Okay.
मचान की ऊंचाई 8.5 फीट होनी चाहिए, जिससे फूल जो फ्रूट्स लटक के फलेंगे वो सीधे होंगे और लंबे होंगे, and they will set the records. So after say 30 to 35, say 35 days, the machan should be prepared and the flowering starts. If you have sown the seeds in early July, the flowering will start in late September, and the biggest fruit will be set when the flowering or the female flower sets fruit in early October or late September. That will produce the longest fruit. Later fruits will produce, of course, heavier fruits, but their length will not be as tall as those fruits compared to those fruits which are set in last week of September or early week of October. They will produce the longest fruit. That is the condition. So, and it takes about 40 days to reach the fullest length. Fullest length is reached within say 35 to 40 days. It takes only 40 days to produce the longest fruit of that plant. So anyway, and then of course you leave the fruits to mature for seeds and for other purposes, and it takes at least 3 months in the plant and 2 months in your storage and indoor, and then the fruits are ready to prepare for decoration, to extract the seeds, or even to produce the prepare the sponge, शंख बनाने के लिए तैयार होते हैं। तो अब मेरे ख्याल से अब और अगर कुछ बोलना हो तो इसमें बताऊं और स्पष्ट न हो। अच्छा हाँ, ये है कि मतलब जैसे और भी चीजें हमने नहीं बताई, वो पर्सनली लोग कांटेक्ट करेंगे तो हमको एवरीथिंग इज अवेलेबल, हम उनको गाइड करते रहेंगे कि कैसे मतलब उसको सोइंग कैसे की जाए, या फर्टिलाइजेशन एप्लीकेशन कैसे किया जाए, या पोयम कितना दिया जाए, समय समय पर कैसे, और कीड़े और बीमारियां लगती हैं उनके कैसे क्या किया जाए, ये सब सारी चीज। किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो पूछे तो ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा। मेरे ख्याल से हम क्या बोल रहे हैं इसका कोई हो सकता बहुत मीनिंग ना हो, लेकिन इफ देयर आर एनी क्वेश्चन आई विल आंसर, आई एम रेडी टू आंसर। हेलो,
सो हाँ सर, एनी क्वेश्चन बच्चों? तो एक सवाल आ रहा है, 1 मिनट सर, एक सवाल आया है, वो पूछ रहे हैं कि वो एग्रीकल्चर में MBA कहाँ कर सकते हैं?
बहुत सारे प्लेसेज हैं, ये तो मेरे ख्याल से टॉपिक नहीं है, MBA तो हम नहीं बता सकते कहाँ कर सकते हैं। पंतनगर में तो एग्री बिजनेस का कुछ है, एमबीए तो एग्रीकल्चर में पुणे में बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूट है। आई नो लीस्ट अबाउट इट।
ओके ओके देन हाँ,
हाँ।
दूसरा है कि एक सवाल है कि एक लड़की ने कोमल जान करके वो बोल रही है कि बॉटनी में बीएससी की है और एमएससी एग्रीकल्चर किया है। तो
जी।
आपके जो जैसे आपने जो सारी चीजें बताए उस सारे विषय में वो पीएचडी कर सकती है क्या?
कर सकती हैं। और मैं उस लड़की को ये बता दूं कि हमने भी कभी एग्रीकल्चर नहीं किया था। हमने बीएससी बायोलॉजी से किया, एमएससी जेनेटिक्स से, पीएचडी प्लांट ब्रीडिंग से किया है। वो आपको चाहत क्या है, व्हाट डू यू वांट, व्हाट यू आर इंक्लाइंड फॉर, यू विल बी एबल टू डू दैट। जो चाहते हैं सब कर सकते हैं। ये मैं आई वांटेड टू आपको पास ऑन ए मैसेज दैट have a great visualization of your life, that what you will be able to achieve in your life। आप पहले देखो उसको, और सब संभव है। और जैसे मैंने सोचा था कि कभी लौकी पाटिल गार्ड में एक कुछ ऐसा काम करूंगा जिससे लोग जानेंगे कि हाँ लौकी भी कोई फसल है। मेरे वजह से तो नहीं, लेकिन ये कि किसी कारण से ये आ गई। आपको एक हमने पाटिल गार्ड में आई हैव रिटन ए पोएम ऑफ 60 लाइन्स। उसमें एक दो लाइन ये है कि अभिलाषा शिव पूजन की, लौकी करे विकास। मैं सोचता था कि ये करे चाहे जैसे करे, लेकिन बजा बिल्कुल स्वामी रामदेव का लौकी चढ़ी आकाश। तो वो लड़की को ये बता दीजिए कि जो वो चाहती हैं वो सब संभव है। और अभी मैं जो चाह रहा हूं कि इंडिया वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड सेट करे बाटिल गार्ड के फ्रूट लेने के लिए। पीपुल हैव कम अराउंड, बहुत सारे प्रोग्रेसिव फार्मर कंट्री के आए हैं, बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स आए हैं जो अभी बीएससी कर रहे हैं, एमएससी कर रहे हैं, एंड दे हैव टेकन दिस सीट and they are there to determine to grow fruits of more than 7 feet or up to reach up to 8 feet length। तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं, वो लड़की कर सकती है, जो भी चाहे सब कर सकती है। मेरा नंबर दे दीजिए, बात कर लेंगे डिटेल में। बात
दे दिया मैंने नंबर। अभी एक मयंक गुप्ता का वो आपको आया है, वो कह रहा है कि बीएससी हॉर्टिकल्चर उसके लिए अच्छा है कि बीएससी सस्टेनेबल एग्रीकल्चर अच्छा है। वो पूछ रहा है कि विच हैज मोर स्कोप इन फ्यूचर।
उनका इंक्लाइनेशन कहाँ है, ये सबसे अच्छा चीज ये है। देयर आर अपॉर्चुनिटीज इन एवरी फील्ड वेयर यू कैन डू द बेस्ट। कहते हैं कि टॉप की पोजीशन बेस्ट लोगों के लिए हमेशा खाली रहती है, वहां भीड़ नहीं होती। तो उनका इंक्लाइनेशन हॉर्टिकल्चर में है या एग्री बिजनेस में है, अपने इंक्लाइनेशन को देखें। देयर आर अपॉर्चुनिटीज एवरीवेयर इन हॉर्टिकल्चर, इन एग्रीकल्चर, एनी सब्जेक्ट, मतलब कोई भी चूज करो उनको। अगर ही इज डिटरमाइंड तो उनका इंक्लाइनेशन का ये ज्यादा महत्व।
ठीक है, ऑल द क्वेश्चंस आर आंसर्ड नाउ।
बाद में क्वेश्चन चाहे जब पूछते रहेंगे, आई हैव गिवन माय नंबर, व्हाट्सएप नंबर, आई विल बी इन कम्युनिकेशन, आई एम ऑलवेज अवेलेबल एनी टाइम। ओके,
थैंक यू सो मच सर। मंगलायतन यूनिवर्सिटी के स्टूडेंट्स भी लाइन में हैं आपका जो अवार्ड है वो क्रैक करने के लिए। हम भी नरेंद्र शिवानी की सीड्स ग्रो कर रहे हैं।
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड।
थैंक यू सो मच सर, एज ए रिसोर्स पर्सन हमें इतनी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन देने के लिए।
वेलकम, नमस्ते, माय रिस्पेक्ट, लव एंड नमस्कार टू एवरीवन। Namaskar.
Yes, sir. Now, I would personally like to invite one of my first boss, Dr. R.K. Roy, who has groomed me a lot to achieve my dreams. And he is a great scientist. I have learned a lot from him. I would request Dr. Roop Kumar Roy to please bestow his blessings and give us the guidelines. Thank you, sir. Dr. Roy, sir.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Firstly, I thank organizer for giving me opportunity to be associated with this webinar, and that too with the subject of creating job opportunities, especially on floriculture and landscaping. The subject floriculture and landscaping is little bit
deviated from the main science subject, but equally it is important as science subject, and opportunities for job as well as entrepreneurship is there. Briefly, I will discuss how you can choose floriculture and landscaping as an alternative source of income generation. Firstly, floriculture. Floriculture is cultivation of flowers, as you know, but the traditional cultivation of flowers is now totally changed. As of now, floriculture is growing flowers in the open field as well as in the protected cultivation also. Protected cultivation means growing flowers within the polyhouse, net house and other kind of greenhouses also, so that you can have good quality flowers, uniform flowers, uh, and continued supply of flowers throughout the year. You know, plants and flowers are season based. They don't produce flowers throughout the year by manipulating agrotechnological practices as well as environmental conditions in the greenhouses, polyhouses. We can grow flowers throughout the year. Here is the scope how you can grow these crops inside the polyhouse. It needs training. The students, entrepreneurs, unemployed youths who are interested, they can go for training. How to grow these plants, how to maintain polyhouse. There is enough opportunities of entrepreneurship in floriculture and landscaping also. There are many institutes in India who provides training on floriculture and landscaping. Firstly, National Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow, IARI, New Delhi, IIHR, Bangalore, Agri Horticultural Society, Kolkata. They organize a certificate course approved by University of Calcutta on certificate course on horticulture. That is approved by the UGC also. And the qualification is 12th pass. So those who are interested to go for training to adopt floriculture and landscaping as an alternative career for income generations and to be entrepreneur, so they should undergo that training certificate course in horticulture. Over and above, floriculture is now totally entrepreneurship oriented. There are several flowers like carnation, gerbera, lilium, rose, etc., which can be grown in polyhouse, greenhouse round the year, and there is enough scope to income generation by growing and selling those flowers by producing them inside the protected conditions. Over and above, value addition is also there. Value addition in the sense, suppose you have grown marigold flowers in the open field conditions. If you say sell loose flowers, you will get hardly 50-60 rupees kilo in the high demand situations. But if you make garlands, if you make ladies, then it will fetch much higher price. Similarly, gladiolus flowers, loose stick is around 3 to 4 rupees per stick. But when you put in a bunch in the form of a bouquet, it earns 200 rupees per bouquet minimum. So this kind of value additions are there, and the floriculturist can add value to the loose flowers produced by the farmers. If you go to the south, if you go to the eastern India, you will see jasmine flowers. There are a lot of ornaments are prepared by the jasmine flowers, garlands, bouquets, and other floral decorations hair decorations, bracelets, ornaments. So this kind of value addition you can do with the commercial flowers also. And third point is extraction of essential oils. These oils are highly costly and not available easily in the market. So there is enough scope to generate essential oils from the flowers, marigold, roses. There are several other flowers which yield essential oils, and essential oils can be extracted as a concentrate, and there is high demand in the market also for essential oils. So basically these are the 3 4 main subject area: commercial cultivation in the open, commercial cultivation in the protected condition, value addition of the loose flowers produced by the farmers in the form of bouquets, garlands, ornaments, vase decoration, etc. And thirdly, the essential oil extraction. These are the main 3 areas where you can find job opportunities. At the same time, you can take off your own startup entrepreneurship also. Entrepreneurship is another emerging area in floriculture. Suppose you don't have any land area for growing flowers, but you still have a desire to be entrepreneurs, then you can act as a middleman to coordinate for marketing. Just collect flowers from market farmers and send them to the markets. These are the recent concept for young unemployed youths, moderately educated youths who can take up this kind of job, because farmers are not able to directly market. So if you act as a middleman, as an entrepreneur who collect flowers from the different sources, packet it properly and send it to the distant market through various channels, by air, by train and other roadways also. So you can earn a huge, I assure you. Fourth is packaging industry in floriculture. Packaging actually has not been developed so much in India, but there is a lot of scope, because for marketing purpose, packaging is a basic requirement for domestic market as well as international market. So therefore, if you can take off training from packaging industries, how to pack flowers, because every flowers has got their own requirement, own dimensions, and own kind of material to be used for packaging purpose. So there is a lot of scope also to get yourself trained and act as an entrepreneur in packaging industry also. This is so far as floriculture and floriculture. Now I will switch on to the landscaping subject. Landscaping, as you know, is a kind of ornamental part of the floriculture as a basic. How you can decorate your garden with plants and flowers in a perfect way. So, if you are a trained person, I told about the certificate course in horticulture organized by the Horticultural Society in Calcutta. So, if you got trained yourself there, and you can act as a garden manager, landscaper, or as an entrepreneur by learning the technique of how to lead out a garden, which plants to be punctuated in different locations, and how to make a place beautiful by using plants and flowers. So you can act as a landscape consultant also. Another part is establishment of plant nursery. There is huge requirement of flowers and plants all over India. Quality planting material is in demand, but the common nurserymen are not in a position to produce in large scale because they multiply in a traditional way. If you put a mass multiplication polyhouse, multiply the plants in lakhs, quality planting material as per varietal name, so you will be in a position to supply all over India as per your catalog price and by name of the variety. So this kind of opportunity is there. You need not to have a huge area of land. If you can start with a small 2 bigha area, 1 acre area, that is sufficient and you can gradually increase. But there is enough scope of establishing horticultural nursery as a income generations. And third landscaping part is the entrepreneurship for garden maintenance. Nowadays, the trend is every factory, every institution, office, any commercial residential complex like to have their own garden, maintain the garden in a proper way and environmental friendly, aesthetically laid out. So they need persons, companies, farms who can take up garden maintenance work around the year. So this kind of entrepreneurship is there, but you have to learn yourself first the technique of garden maintenance. You can start up your own company, small company. You can employ 10, 15 gardeners, have some equipment, lawnmowers, garden hose pipes, kurfi, spades, etc. Some sprayers for plant spray, and then you can start your own business. So there is enough scope there. And the fourth one is specialized gardening. Now the space is a problem for gardening. Very small space available for gardening. So therefore, it is the new concept how you can decorate a small area, even a wall. How a wall can be decorated by the plants. Rooftop garden, veranda garden, balcony garden, pillar garden, even garden inside the metro bridge, metro pillars. So this kind of new concepts are there. If you have knowledge, if you have manpower, sorry, if you have some kind of inspiration to be an entrepreneur, then you can learn all these techniques and simply you can earn a good amount of money by your own views, own energy, own money, and through a establishment of a small company. From my side, briefly, I have given you the idea. Now I am like to have some questions. If anybody have any further clarification, please. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello, Roop Kumar sir. There are two,
Yes,
three
sir.
questions.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
One is Vishlang is asking, what are the different schemes available for agriculture, floriculture, and horticulture from the government of India?
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear you properly.
What are the a person's name is Bishlang. He's asking what are the different schemes? What are the different schemes available
Okay.
for agriculture, floriculture, and horticultures in India from central government, state government, and local governments?
Yes, yes. Every state government has their own plan on floriculture in the form of technical advice, subsidy, establishment of polyhouse, greenhouse, and they have identified the crops also for every state. Suppose if you go to this eastern part, the entire floriculture crop is different. Tuberose, jasmine for the southern and eastern part, gladiolus, jadbera for the northern part. So this kind of crop specialization specifications is there for the states. And as of center is also promoting floriculture in various ways through various schemes. Uh, fifth, sorry, yearly planning is there, and 5-year plan is there, and Government of India through Ministry of Agriculture and National Horticultural Board also, they also have different schemes for establishment of nursery. Even NHB certifies nursery also, who can produce certified planting material for large scale supply. So there is enough schemes and scopes there. Only you have to contact either state government or central government respective departments for those help and assistance. Yes, please.
So there is one more question.
Yes,
The
please.
student's name is Karthik. He's asking, after diploma in agriculture, what are the job opportunities?
Diploma in agriculture, I think there is no such course available in India. Diploma for 2 years or 1 year, there is no such diploma. I think not available any course. Anyway, somebody has got trained from somewhere, either from IRI, either from Agri-Horti Society, either from NBRI, IIHR. One who has some kind of certification, knowledge, skill, capacity, they can certainly earn job opportunities there. Many corporate bodies, they are looking for qualified persons because as I told, every corporate bodies, railways, fertilizer companies, even institution, factories, airports, everybody, every institution, every offices now is like to have a good garden in their premises. So there is, I think, reasonable demand of horticulturists who can manage maintenance of garden, development of garden. So I think reasonable scope is there.
Okay.
Yes,
so thank you very much, sir. And the best person to revise this, Ranjana madam. And madam, please.
Thank you, sir. It was indeed a blissful webinar where I think all the participants would have got some or the other point to increase their job opportunity, especially in field of diverse field of agriculture. Rather, I'll say the upcoming fields like blockchain technology, like extension, agri-journalism, all these will can be explored for a new and high amount getting or getting good salaried job opportunities, especially in these areas. Of course, the horticulture, who can really bring a great change in the conventional agriculture, is again a new explorer area, especially floriculture, landscaping, and yes, the breeding as well. Now, with these points, I would really like to thank Dr. V.V. Sadamate sir, Dr. Roop Kumar Roy sir, Dr. Shiv Pujan Singh sir, and Dr. Amrain sir for being our resource person in such a short notice with such a huge information. Thank you so much, sir. We would also like that one or the other time you come and visit our campus and bless our students personally, though you all have been blessing us by online during this COVID period. But if possible, we would also like to welcome you personally on in this campus. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, all the participants.
Thank you very much, sir. Personally, from Mangalacharya University, we would like to thank right from Dr. Sadamate, Dr. R.K. Roy, Dr. Shiv Singh, Amrinder Singh, and I would like to thank even Dr. Ranjana madam. She is actually over here and PhD in agriculture. Just remember. So, thank you all. And if you have anything, please check out our website, our LinkedIn address, Facebook or whichever place, and drop those questions to us. already Singh has put his phone number over here, and I have shared with you all. And if you have anything to worry, please share your worries, all your worries, and go ahead and live your career life. So thank you all. God bless you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we declare the webinar is over. Thank you very much.